and welcome to You Write, the podcast where creativity meets community.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
Each week on You Write, we challenge our listeners to write a story in just 30 minutes, using 3 of 5 randomly generated words.
It's a fun and fast-paced exercise to spark your imagination and get those creative juices flowing.
We'll read your submissions, offer feedback, and discuss the unique twists and turns of each story.
So whether you're an aspiring author or just love a good tale, You Write is your place to explore the endless possibilities of storytelling.
So grab a cadaver, get comfy, and let's dive into this week's stories.
And remember, the only limit is your imagination and your access to a cadaver.
Yes.
So let's see what you got.
Let's see what you come up with.
Yeah, cadaver, huh?
Cadaver.
Yeah.
Cadaver.
Got bodies on the brain.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You don't want to explain that? No, that's fine.
I just do.
It's fine. Just thinking about dead bodies, that's all.
Because why not? How are you today?
Good. I'm good.
What have you been up to?
I just got back from an RV show that my parents went to.
Wait, what?
RV?
Well, I mean,
You're like
I
recreational
heard the
vehicle?
words. I heard the letters that you said and I understood them, but I've never heard of an RV show.
It's basically just it's at the fairgrounds and there's all these different RV rigs, like Class A, Class C, trailers, fifth wheels.
Okay. Are they cool?
They actually, some of them are really, really crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of them, like there was one that we saw that on sale, sweet deal, $555,000.
What in the
could
fuck?
be yours.
What in the literal fuck?
It looks like it's just a giant bus with like the walls slide out on it. It's insanely big.
It would have to be lush and exotic on the inside.
It kind of is. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them are pretty kitted out, dog. So.
That's insane.
Basically, it's a bunch of people,
Ugh.
dare I say old people, out there just looking at stuff that they'll never buy.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Of course it's old people.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, my dad texted me this morning. He's like, you want to go to an RV show? I was like, sure.
Yeah.
So we went to lunch and went to an RV show.
What was for lunch?
We had polar bear toes,
Okay.
breakfast burritos.
Oh, they're called polar bear toes?
The restaurant is Polibertos.
Oh. That was good. Polibertos. Yes.
Polar bear toes.
Yeah, I like it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
What about you? What you been doing?
I worked. I went to work.
Just work?
I had to work today.
Oh.
I had to work at 7:30 this morning.
Oh, that's horrible. It's Saturday.
I know. 7:30 to 2:30, but because of the 7 hours that I put in today, I don't have to stay late at work next week. Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, because I usually have to stay really late to make up for the hours that I miss whenever I go teach at the college 2 days a week for my other job.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, I was just working today, and I've also been my nephew's staying at my house now.
Oh, he is?
For some time, yes. And I'm keeping that boy on a tight leash.
Tight leash.
A real tight leash.
Okay.
I've got him convinced that there are cameras throughout the house and that I'm watching him 24/7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have one camera, but it's not in a room that he even goes in.
Okay.
But I also have a sensor on the door, so I know when he opens the door.
Oh.
So today, whenever he got home and I was at work, I saw that the door unlocked, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Neil, I see that you just got home."
Uh-huh. Just to reinforce that.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. What's on the agenda now?
Idle hands.
That's right.
That,
Oh, that could not be truer with my nephew. Oh my God. So anyway, it seems to be effective so far.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm. Good. That's I'm glad you're setting some boundaries.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
There were boundaries.
Oh, there's boundaries.
Yeah. Well, did you see all our stories this week?
I did.
Yeah. So who did we decide to read this week?
This week, we decided to read The Witch is Dead
The Witch is Dead.
By Rachel. That's me, guys.
Hey, author.
Ha.
Hey, author of story that we're going to be reading.
Ha.
Ha.
Ha. Would you like to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it for you.
Okay.
And actually, I think what we'll do is we'll do your story up top, and then we'll jump into Mikey's as well, because we need to read Mikey's up at the top at some point.
I'll read Mikey's.
So, but since this is a poem, I felt like we always read the poems anyways.
That's true.
But we'll jump him up towards the top.
Okay.
So, this is The Witch is Dead by Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
A sharp explosion of glass dropped grandmother right back into the sweltering oven. She opened her eyes and panicked for a moment before remembering where she had been and how she had entered the other place. One thing grandmother was sure of was that the other place was the real place, much more real than this dingy world of muted colors and dampened sensations. Grandmother felt one sensation acutely, however, and that was the pain of her skin being scalded. She realized that she was gradually roasting, and it was time to get out of the oven. The glass in the middle of the door had shattered. From the heat? But oven doors were built to withstand that kind of heat, weren't they? Grandmother wasn't sure, but she didn't have time to think about that right now. She pushed the unshattered part of the door from the inside, and it creaked open. Reaching her arms out and planting her blistered hands onto the pale yellow linoleum, she dragged the bottom half of her body out as quickly as possible. Once she had safely emerged, she laid back on the floor and took a deep breath. Grandmother thought she had extracted herself from the situation before any real damage could be done. Somehow, and she hadn't figured this bit out yet, but somehow, several hours in the real place amounted to mere minutes in this place. It was utterly confounding, but grandmother had to admit that she appreciated it, and she got to spend more time exploring before being cooked alive. One thing she had learned was that she couldn't do this too often. She'd done it 3 times now, and had begun to realize that each time, while she felt increasingly lithe and energized with each visit she made to the real place, her body was slightly more degraded every time she came back here. She knew that if she wanted to live much longer on this earth, she would have to stop going to the real place, or at least dramatically space out her visits. With that disappointing thought in mind, grandmother returned to the domestic duties she had been performing minutes earlier. Afterwards, she had an early dinner, puttered around the garden for a bit, and went to bed too early, simply out of boredom. At least she had the thoughts and memories of her experience in the real place today to bask in and mull over. She wondered where the fox had been leading her, and what kind of lovely and mysterious and noble things he wanted to show her there. She looked up at the portrait of her precious mother on the wall above her bed and smiled conspiratorially, then drifted off to sleep feeling cozy and contented, albeit a bit worse for the wear physically. And so grandmother continued, day after day. She would often wander into the kitchen and stare wistfully at the oven. She wanted to go back. She wanted to be with the fox. She wanted to know what other delights awaited there. But did she dare? Did she dare gamble with her life that way? Life. Was this really what she would call life? She wasn't so sure anymore. 2 months had passed since her last visit, and she didn't know how much longer she could hold out. She tried to push the thoughts aside and go about her day like normal, but as the afternoon wore on, she kept finding herself in the kitchen, not remembering exactly how she'd gotten there. As grandmother stood staring at the oven on the most recent iteration of her journey to the kitchen, a wave of resolve washed over her. "Fuck it," she said indignantly, as she reached over and cranked the dial up to broil. Grandmother felt giddy as she opened the recently replaced oven door and climbed in. It didn't take her as long this time to enter the state of consciousness necessary to get to the real place. It seemed that not even a minute had passed when she found herself standing before the 5 yellow doors again. Her eyes came to rest on the mustard yellow one with a square shape. That's the one, she thought, as she reached for the silver knob and turned. Before she knew what was happening, grandmother was tumbling out into the real place, and she quickly deduced that she had returned to the exact moment in time she left months earlier. She was following the fox towards the thicket. her stride becoming more confident with every step. When the fox reached the edge of the trees, it looked back at her to make sure she was following, and she was. They entered, and the air immediately took on a gloomy, heavy quality. The smell of mildew and rot invaded grandmother's nostrils as they ventured deeper into the wood. They soon came to a clearing where there was a fire blazing and a figure hunched over it. Grandmother peered through her tree cover to get a better idea of what lay before her. It was a human-like creature with long, tangled hair. It hovered motionless over what looked to be a cauldron on fire. A witch. Grandmother heard low chanting. It sounded like incantations of some kind, in a feigned, deep voice. What was it saying? Grandmother strained to listen and took a step closer. She had inadvertently stepped on a twig that snapped with a booming crack. The witch whipped its head around furiously, and its eyes bored into grandmother's like hateful lasers. The eyes were bordered with black spider legs in greasy clumps. The witch's lips were distended and throbbing. Grandmother inhaled sharply and began to tremble. The witch lifted its bony finger and pointed accusingly at grandmother. At the same time, the heat of the fire increased, and the witch's blotchy face began to melt. Is this hell? Why did the fox bring me here? Grandmother thought, fear overwhelming her, and then she heard an urgent whisper, from where she didn't know. What it said both terrified and emboldened her. Kill.
That was a great reading.
Thanks.
I really enjoyed that.
It's a fun one to read.
Yay.
It falls off the tongue cleanly.
Well, that's great to hear.
It really does.
Okay.
You did a thing. You did a good thing.
I performed an item.
You performed a quality item.
Oh, thank you.
So we're back with grandmother.
We're back with grandmother.
So, especially in this entry, it dawned on me, it's like, her name is grandmother.
Yeah.
And so there is no other way to call her except like, this is grandmother. It's like, John, Bill, I'd like you to meet grandmother.
Yes. This is grandmother. That's her name.
This is grandmother. She is my mother.
Yes. This is my mom. Her name is grandmother. Yeah. It's grandmother. That's just
it
who
is
she
grandmother.
Is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to point out just a few things. The idea of the mystery of the glass being broken.
Uh-huh.
Do you know why it's broken, or were you just trying to find some way to get that prompt in there?
No, honestly, immediately I was like, I know. I don't know if you remember, but last week whenever we heard the prompt, I was like, ooh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And my thought was it was going to be the oven door shattering from the heat. But then as I was typing it, I was like, wait a second.
They don't do that.
Oven doors are built for that heat.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
But I'm already committed. I've already written
I'm already committed, and I'd already been inspired, and already just slotted in perfectly to what I was doing with grandmother being in the oven. And so I was just like, okay, I'm just going to notate the fact that it doesn't make sense that an oven door is shattered from that heat, and then deal with that later.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. One thing, and I don't know, I have to go back and read it to know for sure, but I thought one part that you could make interesting, or maybe that she finds out later, is that the glass broke into the oven or something like that. Like that made me think of something, because it's presented as a mystery. I was like, that would be fun. Okay. A fun part of the mystery. Maybe somebody tried to get in.
Right.
Or.
Okay, that could be cool. But then after I had already been like, all right, and then written that part, then I was like, well, it could be that somehow inside the oven, it has experienced months worth of heat.
Yeah.
You know, how
because there is some sort of timey-wimey thing going on.
And so the time has only been a few minutes on Earth, obviously, but it's been like much longer. No, not 2 months, sorry, but like several hours or whatever. So maybe it could be that if you leave an oven on its very highest setting for several hours, maybe it could eventually shatter.
I would think it'd just burn down the house. Maybe.
Right, but a fire would have to start, and probably.
But there's a woman in there.
Right. I don't know. I need to look into the mechanics of ovens.
Yeah. And part of me was just like, I don't want to try to overthink this because it serves no purpose to really get into it. I was just curious if you, whenever you wrote that, thought like, oh yeah, I know exactly why it actually broke.
I did, but then I realized that my logic was flawed.
Yeah. So one part that I thought felt pretty important was this her noticing the portrait of her precious mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but it feels like that is important. Like we will become to know more about the precious mom.
Yeah.
In later entries.
Yep.
So
that's going to come back.
Yeah. Especially this whole paragraph I really liked. Just her disappointment in this, and that she has to just go back to life as grandmother here and just mulling over her duties. But if she so very quickly moves away from her, like thinking about what she needs to do, like just go to bed, eating dinner, putter around the house, to just wondering about this other place and how the portrait of her mother sneaks in while she's wondering about this place.
Yeah.
And so that felt significant.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah. This paragraph with all the descriptions, and so grandmother continued, day after day, she would often wander into the kitchen, stare wistfully at the oven. That whole paragraph, all those descriptions, wonderful.
Yay.
I really liked that. That really got me into the character and into the scene with all of this. So
awesome. So I just want to say, like, everything that happened with this was, and the title and everything, like, I was going to get to something which I think you can probably deduce from the title and from what has happened so far in the story, but I just didn't have time because I had too much setup to do, you know? And like, I really, 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 really wanted to get to the action part.
Yeah.
But to the slaying.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
So I just got as far as I could, but I like the idea of grandmother being this like old lady, and she's kind of like an assassin, or she's being told to be an assassin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To like kill this witch. And by the way, this is the picture that inspired me about the witch.
Honestly, I kind of get that. Like,
Look at her eyelashes and the way she's pointing. That's like what she did to grandmother.
Kill.
Yeah. No, she didn't say kill.
Oh, right.
Something told her to kill.
Oh,
told grandmother.
I misread that.
No, something told grandmother to kill the witch.
Yeah. So, okay. That I think might need some clarity then.
Okay.
It's obviously right at the end. Is this grandmother thought fear overwhelming? She heard an urgent whisper from where she didn't know. Just the fact that all we have is the fox and maybe make it more clear. It's like, it wasn't the witch. Because I thought it was the witch that had said it.
Well, because she's staring at the witch is staring at her. And then grandmother hears a whisper, you know, and she doesn't know from where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
It just, I read it as well, I suppose if the scene were to continue, you could make it more obvious that it wasn't the witch.
I mean, I guess it could be like in Lord of the Rings, where the Queen of the Elves is like staring at Frodo like very intensely and like saying things to his brain. Yes.
Baggins.
Yes. So I guess, I can see where you could.
The one who has seen the eye.
Yes. So I can see where you could think that it was the witch saying those things. But,
yeah.
Okay. Touche. Yep. And so
that's such a great image too. Grandmother.
Anyway, so that's kind of, and she's kind of grappling with this. Why am I even here? Why am I doing this? Why am I trying to preserve my life on Earth when there's somewhere hella cooler, you know, and where I feel better and where, you know, I seem to matter. Like the fox wanted me to go with it. And well, now she has a mission of killing the witch, you know?
Now her purpose is to kill someone.
Right. Well, at least she has a purpose.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
But there was, I really, really had to rush through this, and I did not have time to edit as much as I normally would. So I noticed a couple of things that I should have changed, which is, whenever she's like, what was it saying? Whenever grandmother's listening to the witch, it should say, what is it saying? Because it's grandmother's thoughts in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, what is it saying?
Yeah, there's small things.
Yeah, and then the fox, at one point I called it, and at one point I called it he. So, anyway.
No. Yeah, there's some small things. I felt like There was something near the start that I was thinking it felt like heavy use of the passive voice where it might have been better in the active. I say heavy, like there was a couple uses of passive that it might have made a little bit more. I think it might have made more sense in the active voice. I'm not sure.
Passive?
Yeah. I don't even know where it is. Anyway, yeah.
That's okay.
But for the most part, yeah, it didn't feel like perfect, but it was an excellent first draft. I'll put it that way.
Thank ya.
Yeah.
Thank ya.
Yeah. If I could write a first draft that cleanly, I would be very happy. So yeah, I'm just obviously want to know. Well, I guess we have assassin grandmother assassin.
Maybe.
Pretty rad.
I mean, yeah.
I was going to say this reminds me of The Talisman, co-authored by Stephen King and Peter Straub. Especially getting into this because it's a little bit darker. Once we go to the other place, it's kind of has some darker qualities to it. And now that grandmother's turning into an assassin, like it's less C.S. Lewis, and it felt more like Stephen King-esque and Peter Straub.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I was getting a very slight Golden Compass feel.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah, and the way that it's like, remember how they couldn't, the two kids couldn't meet up anymore because each time they opened the portal.
Oh, that broke my little heart.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I was devastated.
That was terrible.
Ruined me as a child.
That was terrible.
Ruined me.
That was a nightmare.
Oh my God.
And
I was listening to Coldplay. Nobody said it was easy. The whole time I was reading that, I was like,
that's terrible.
I'm going to die, aren't I? I'm going to die from sadness.
I'm going to die of a broken heart from reading The Golden Compass. Yeah, well, it was just like the fact that grandmother can't make this, in this like trip between worlds very much. There's like limitations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
We shall see where it goes, but I'm having fun with it.
I can tell. And to go back to that same idea, I like that there's stakes for making this trip. And you set them up very early.
Yeah.
Second entry and already it's like clear stakes, like you're going to die if you keep doing this.
You're going to die.
You're going to die. Yeah,
she's already old. She's getting cooked a little bit each time,
So fucked up, man. Such a fascinating premise. I'm a big fan of this. So,
thank you.
Yeah. And our other entry we're going to be reading this week is by MikeyDoesNotLikey.
I want to read that.
Titled A Portrait.
I want to read that. Here we go. A shattered window, shattered heart. Domestic bliss now torn apart. In hell, the housing for my heart. A portrait of my misery. A broken plate, a broken home. I pray to not be left alone, decaying on my empty throne. For who will come to visit me? I hate the man he chose to be, who loved the bottle more than me, who ended this so violently, so easily he severed. I love him still, I love him more. No other soul could I adore, and yet I'm sobbing on the floor. You'll find me there forever. A portrait of what used to be that's lost beyond the never.
Right on, Mikey.
Yeah. This is my favorite poem that Mikey's written so far.
Yeah, this one, it's very clear.
It is. It flows quite nicely.
It does, yeah. And these italicized single line stanzas here.
Yeah.
A portrait of my misery, for who will come to visit me. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like this. It seems to me that this is about the point of view character's father.
Yeah. Yeah, it could also be a significant other. It could be. But yeah, it certainly strikes me more paternal.
No, yeah, it totally could. Yeah.
In hell, the housing of my heart. That's a great line. In hell, the housing for my heart. A portrait of my misery. Yeah. The tone and the themes of this, like we mentioned, just it's very clear what she's doing. Especially, I hate the man he chose to be, who loved the bottle more than me, who ended this so violently. Wow, that's so clear. Such great flow to that.
Yes, it's very good.
And the rhyming scheme just lands perfectly.
I love the rhyming scheme on this.
So easily he severed. Yeah. This is rad, dude.
This is.
And it's a devastating read. Just it's so quick, but the emotions are just there right from the beginning.
Yeah.
A shattered window, a shattered heart. Yeah. It's perfect. The way it fits with the prompt and everything.
Oh yeah. I really like the line, I love him still, I love him more. I really, really like that. I just feel like it's a very deep emotion that is stated very succinctly.
Yeah.
It's like, even though he broke my heart, I still love him. And in fact, I love him more even.
Yeah.
You know? I just feel like that's a really good verbalization of a very human experience.
Yeah. And especially if he is gone now. Like, does that say absence makes the heart grow fonder? So it could be playing on that idea as well. Now that he's gone, you just, it's easy to look back and see all of the rosy memories.
Yeah.
For what you're missing. Yeah.
Right.
This is great, Mikey.
It's very good.
This is great.
It's very, very, it's refreshing. It refreshes my palate.
Yeah. Oh, I love poetry. I really, really like poetry. And I kind of hate that I am not a poet to write poetry. Like, it does not work for me.
Yeah.
Despite even having taken like poetry classes, like it's not my thing. Like I just can't write it. Like even like song lyrics, like I just can't do it. I'm not a lyricist. I'm not a poet. It's just, but I respect the hell out of anybody who is, like, because I know just how tough it is.
Yeah.
It's being so creative and choosy with what with your words, which I'm not choosy with my words. I want to use them all.
Yeah. And it's hard to write good poetry without sounding cliche, you know? So I think that's like a very delicate balance.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mikey, for a portrait.
Thank you, Mikey.
And up next is The Gun by Nick to You.
Woo!
This one was cool, Nick.
This one was cool. Wait, I have to point out a name here that made me laugh. Oh, like one of the names in my first reading, I immediately read it incel.
Incel?
Yeah, because it's like ENSEL or something like that. But then I was like, I bet you that's not how you pronounce
ENSEL,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Ensel, like Hansel and Gretel, Hansel. Ensel. It's probably like Ensel, but it's funny to call him incel.
Incel.
Like, okay, just come right out and say it. Okay, Shatterstar. I love the name Shatterstar.
Oh, yeah. And this isn't the first entry with Shatterstar.
I know. I remember that. I recognized that name.
As well as Azimrazil. Yeah. That was very recognizable.
Yes. Azimrazil is such a good name, too.
Yeah. So I like this, the way that we begin with this. It's just them just getting by. Like they're kind of out of their element here. And they're just basically doing chores for people, but because they don't have any capital S skills to really assist with that, like the quality of their work is kind of meh. And so like they're not really making a lot of money or anything. They're just kind of scraping by. Right. But the whole scene is just very, very domestic, very wholesome. Yeah. Pleasant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a comforting scene, and it makes you think like, wow, this is cozy, honestly.
Yeah. The domestic setting was pleasant. Yes. Azimrazil and Marissa were sitting around a fire sipping soup, not made by anyone with a cook class or anything, but still pleasant and filling. Children were playing nearby. Two were taking turns competing to see who could make more impressive acrobatics, or who could do more impressive acrobatics. While another circle of children were arranging their dolls. Yeah. Oh, in the story, the dolls seem to be acting out a dramatic story of infidelity and intrigue. It sounds like a great story. So I was just like, wow, these kids are wild. Like using dolls to basically play out what a doll in the nutshell eyes apparently was from a rival tribe and had been responsible for arranging the death of her brother, who had been in love with one of the other dolls. Like, that's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's pretty complex.
It leads me into the idea that maybe this is like a folkloric story for this world in some way, like a well-known story.
Yeah, like everybody grows up knowing it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cute. I like how it mentions the impressive head of hair made of camel fur. Because I was like, wait, is it called fur or hair? But then I thought, fur is adorable. And honestly, I like the idea of camel fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of camels having fur and not hair.
Honestly, don't know. I would assume it was fur.
Okay.
I really don't know.
It's cute, though.
It is cute.
Regardless.
Either way.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and then things things take a turn whenever we get somebody shows up with what we eventually learn is a gun. Mm-hmm. But I was going to read this bit here. It was a fine place, pleasant, good for healing from grief, but Azimrazil didn't think they could stay long. In the middle of this pondering, a crack split the air, and there was a sudden ruckus of wildlife panicking, calling alarm and rustling the forest in every direction, fleeing from the source. Azimrazil struggled to process the sound even as they stood, watching elves part and flee around them, but they remembered the description of alchemy arms. They used explosive materials in a tube to propel a projectile out of the opening. Too volatile, fragile, and expensive for most to use, but outsiders often came with them when they were yanked from their realm. And for as long as they worked, they could be deadlier than an arrow. Mm-hmm. Excellent description, without just outright coming out and telling us it's a gun. Mm-hmm. And the way that you kind of dance around that in the lore of this world as alchemy arms, I thought was especially creative. Yeah. And then just the very detailed description of explosive material in a tube. Very cool. And also further clues us into people being yanked like against their will from their realm to this world. Yeah. It makes me wonder that process. Mm-hmm. Like what instigates this yank, this pull from their realm?
Outsiders often came with them when they were yanked from their realm. That's a good question.
So people could be like they have it in their possession whenever they're pulled, and then they've got a gun and they're freaking out, which is kind of what this sounds like. Mm-hmm. Like these people are like have no idea. They're surrounded by creatures they do not recognize, and then they just start shooting. So,
You know what I love is sparrow griffins.
Sparrow griffins flittered. Yep.
Oh, that is so cute. I'm imagining tiny griffins.
Chirping.
Oh my God. It's just adorable. Tiny griffins. Tiny ones.
Little tiny.
Yeah, that's adorable. It flitted overhead, practically darkening the sky. I would say take away the word practically. I feel like just darkening the sky is better. Yeah. It's just saying that's what's happening. They're darkening the sky. There's so many of them. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, and then we get this. They're tall as an elf, but of sturdier build. They have one of those firearm weapons. Yeah. I like that you give us that in case the description maybe was lost on us. So you kind of clarify it a little bit more succinctly just by this person here saying that. Maybe that's Insel. I'm not sure. But
I really like. I got kind of inspired on that line where it's like, "Don't let death take you, and you'll eat well tonight." Yeah. It kind of reminded me of like Gladiator, of where it's like, "Well,
we who are about to die salute you." Yeah.
Well, actually, I was thinking of the part where they're going into battle, and he's like, if we defeat the Visigoths or whatever, then we'll dine on all this stuff tonight or something like that. Yeah. I just feel like that's a great rallying cry for people going into battle. Oh, yeah. It's like, hey, don't fuck up and you're going to get some good din-din. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll be dead. And won't need to eat anymore ever again.
Or it's like a 300 cry where it's like, you're going to die, but it's like, tonight we dine in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. This part, And there they suddenly encountered the man wielding the glinting metal with wild eyes. He looked upon Azimrazil and froze a moment. It occurred to Azimrazil that the man might not have seen an ogre before. That does a lot for me, especially whenever they mention like people are being yanked. Like this person is terrified. Like they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
They point the gun at them. It's like they cried, but managed to keep focus and forward motion. The weapon fired wildly, missing Azimrazil. And then Marissa cut the man's throat, and the fight was over. I really like, and I think it was mentioned in the comments, how abruptly the battle is just won and done. But I like that line. I would remove the and. Just say, then Marissa cut the man's throat, and the fight was over.
Yeah.
I really like that line. I just think you could lose that one and.
Yeah. I agree.
It reads very cleanly.
Yeah.
And I really like the way that you end that.
Yeah.
And then basically it's just triage after that, dealing with
the wounded child.
The wounded child. Yeah. And as well as the shoulder or the arm of Azimrazil. Yeah. And the thought that we leave it with, they dully thought that potion had been awfully expensive. That's an interesting character moment to bring it back to the cost.
Yeah.
Like the actual cost of just using this potion.
Right.
And the fact that they hadn't been paid very well this whole time that they were there.
Yeah.
This is probably a sign that they're going to have to move on from here.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you have all this magic stuff going on. And then I feel like that last line kind of like really grounds you back down into reality. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but these potions are expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
And if I'm remembering properly, I think it was Azimrazil that was a bit of a downer in the other story. And so this is more reinforcing that and showing us like not one to dwell on any kind of success.
Azimrazil.
I think that's right.
I hadn't remembered that characteristic, if that was him.
I think that's right. I may be misremembering, but
you know what? I trust you.
Well, Nick, I really like this continuation here and just further development of this world.
Yeah. It's good action sequence. Yeah,
it really is. And it's also I also liked just the way that we get started in it. I really like that opening scene, just people in their day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
And them kind of acting as fish out of water, like they're not able to use what they're best at.
Right.
I like that.
I like that too.
Well, thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
And up next we have A Night In by Curious Writer.
Okay, Curious. This was an intriguing continuation.
Yep.
Very, very intriguing. So, it seems that there is some romantic intimacy going on between Jesse and Cassandra, as they're chilling on the couch, as they're Netflix and chilling,
watching a bad knockoff of Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Jesse, I kind of got this feeling in this entry that Jesse is annoying. I had kind of gotten that feeling before, but in this entry, I really got it. Just starting with where she's like, Cassandra's like, can I see what this surprise is you mentioned? And Jesse's like, you sure can, my dear. It's like, don't call me that. I just feel like I know people like this who are like young women who say things like, my dear. And it annoys me. It bothers me.
It is a little... It feels infantilizing.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And so, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. If it's an old person, that's fine. You can call me my dear all day long.
Well, yeah, because everybody to them is like a young child.
Right.
So they can infantilize all they want because you could be 50 and they think, oh, my dear. Yeah.
Right.
Because you're old as fuck.
Exactly. Like it kind of like crystallized this feeling, this unnamed feeling that I've had about Jessie this whole time, which is that she's kind of a blowhard and she's kind of, I don't know, I feel like she's kind of a fake. I'm probably
big
wrong.
Fat phony.
Yeah, I just feel like she's a phony. I don't know why, but I just feel like she's trying to be this thing that she can't quite nail.
Well, she is sociopathic. So that wouldn't be any sort of stretch for her to be putting on some sort of face, some sort of front, to just like, but she's just always wearing this mask.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess it really brought it home when she said, "my dear," and she's clearly not significantly older than Cassandra. So,
and then to continue, that, my love, is my gift to you, a way to start off our life together in domestic bliss, Jessie said, planting a kiss on her ear.
Yes. And I was really surprised because I expected Cassandra to be like, because my immediate reaction was like to shudder and to just be like, ew, get off me. But if I'm putting myself in Cassandra's shoes, and I kind of expected Cassandra to do the same, but no, Cassandra was into it. She was like, this lady cares about me.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, and again, I think that goes more towards showing not how caring and affectionate Jessie is. I think it goes further to characterizing just how poorly treated Cassandra has been. And so she's just, as we mentioned before, primed to accept this relationship regardless of whatever red flags Jessie's throwing.
Yeah.
Like any red flags, which there have been many, not least of which is the fact that she was kidnapped.
Right, and held hostage.
With a shock collar or something like that.
Those are the reddest of flags.
The crimson flags.
The crimsonest of flags.
Yeah. But yeah, and so we get the folder that she brings out is for, do we get a name?
I don't know, but it's Cassandra's ex.
Yeah. So the folder is with Cassandra's ex. And so, and the fact that she's got manila folders makes me think she's on the cops, or maybe she's a PI or something. She's getting information. She's being fed information from somewhere. And it seems reputable just by the fact that it's all well organized and everything. But Jessie also does kind of strike me as fairly well organized. So while she may be sociopathic, she's no fool.
I think there's all different levels of intelligence of sociopaths.
Yeah. So she's got her wits about her, and she's being fed good information, or she's gathering good information.
Right.
And she has options.
Yeah.
And one of those options just happens to be Cassandra's ex here. So
right. She has her wits about her in some ways. I feel like she's not very socially aware because of the way that she talks.
Yeah.
Makes me think. I think most people would probably cringe a lot if they were hanging out with her and she talked like that.
Yeah.
She clearly hasn't noticed that or just doesn't care.
Yeah. Or maybe she's been on her own for so long, like she just doesn't know how to interact with people. And she's finally like reaching out to Cassandra here, and seems like Cassandra is sort of leaning into this in some way. Whether or not if it stays that way, I'll be curious to see.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Cassandra is loving this because there at the end, Cassandra didn't think she ever wanted to escape that warmth. Not anymore.
Yep. Officially, just go ahead and seal it. Just seal it up. They're an item.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just go ahead and consummate it.
Yep. Jessie and Cassandra. We'll just call them Cassie.
Yeah. Or
just Jassandra.
Yeah, I was like Jassandra. Yes. Or Kessie.
Kessie.
Yeah, Kessie and Jassandra. Okay, but yeah, I just have a lot of thoughts, a lot of mixed emotions about this, and just like it makes my mind go like one direction, then makes it go another direction, and then it's like no, and then it swirls around into a loop, and
then it's just a spiral, and then it's just spiraling,
and then I'm just like, well, okay,
it's that meme of that woman trying kombucha for the first time.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, you have.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen this one?
No, I don't. She's like, well, but actually, the last part's the funniest part. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Okay, I'll start using that one. Yeah, kind of like, that's kind of how I feel about this story.
You're like, no, No. Well,
No. Well, actually,
no.
no.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
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 So it's
This one's kind of
definitely-
a ride.
It's a ride. I was about to say it's like taking me through a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, again, continuing to really enjoy this story, Curious. So thank you for a night in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was great.
And up next is I Swear to Gods, Scene 4, Burnt Grassroots.
Yeah.
This one is fun, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm enjoying these.
Tis.
I'm really enjoying these.
Okay, so
This one really took me for a loop.
it looks like he has now. This is great. These people just come, at his minorest beck and call.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, he's just tapped into something.
He's somehow
here.
tapped in. I don't know. Okay, so he has now. Okay, well, first of all, he's started doing something that Isho told him to do last time, which is do the things that he's good at. Serve people.
Mm-hmm.
So he started cutting grass. At the church, I found the line very interesting where it said, the people at the old folks' home were way less judgmental than the people at the church.
Yeah, it makes you wonder like what kind of church it was. But this part is like, but when I busted out the third stained glass window in a single week, the head trustee politely asked me to find another calling. That is kind of cluing me into what kind of church this might be.
Okay.
Could be a church that could afford to pay somebody to just mow it.
Yeah.
And just him serving them is a little like, we don't really need you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're actually costing us money. 'Cause
Right.
You have to replace our stained glass windows.
Yeah.
But anyways, also, what is he doing so wrong that he's busting out windows left and right while mowing
rocks.
grass? Yeah, but
He's kicking up rocks.
I've mowed. Anyway, yeah,
Well,
I thought that was interesting. Before we get too far, the next paragraph, the one beginning, I started mowing at the senior living facility where his mother lived.
Mhm.
See, I figured I could be hood and holy at the same time.
Mhm.
And they told me God don't like petty, but God is God and I am not. So there's that.
Mhm.
Sucker. That whole paragraph confused me.
Me too.
I don't understand anything.
I didn't either. I
whose
read.
mother?
No, okay, here's what I understood. I understood that the head trustee, his mother lives in a senior living facility.
Okay.
But I didn't see how that was getting revenge on the head trustee by mowing the grass at his mother's senior living facility. That's what I didn't understand. I'm just like,
Hood
how is
and
he?
holy?
Yeah, but how is he getting revenge on the head trustee by mowing grass at his mother's living facility?
Maybe because he'll start busting out windows over there instead. Like, I don't know.
maybe I was really expecting something to take a very dark turn, that he was going to become like a serial killer over there and like kill the head trustee's mom or something.
Oh God.
Well, because I
Yeah.
was just like, that doesn't make sense. But that never happened. So I don't know. I didn't get that
and then
part.
sucker. Like the whole
Mhm.
that whole bit just I had to just read by it. I couldn't quite
Yeah.
grasp it. But
Yeah.
any hoodles,
Mhm.
we just move. The text moves right by it. Any hoodles.
Right.
I did eventually get better at it. So
Mhm.
the best thing that I could come away with is like, I'll start breaking glass at your mom's place.
Yeah.
So-
It's like, does she really care though?
it's not really her window.
Right. Exactly.
But-
like,
anyway.
yeah. Any hoodles.
So our main character is just getting worn out. He's not being paid. And we have this guy, Sam, Sam Mael, which feels like it's playing on something. I'm not sure.
It is. He said in the comments that's Satan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that tracks well, because I was like, Sam really doesn't feel like a good guy. He
What-
also doesn't feel like he's intentionally doing anything bad.
What made you
necessarily.
feel like Sam is not a good guy?
Well, because he's just there, not really helping, not really doing anything. He's just there to comment. If that makes sense. Like he's just an outside party, just like he's almost just like a gossip is what he feels like. But anyways,
I don't
and
know.
Sam, that guy, he didn't help. Told me I was a real one for doing this for a place that made money hand over. It's like he's trying to convince him is like, this isn't like like, what are you doing? Like, this place makes a ton of money. Like, you need to be asking for money. Like, he's going basically against everything that he was told to do by Isho.
Okay, yeah. Trying to get him to, like, ask for money. Okay.
Yeah. And again, he's being practical, but he's also kind of going against the lesson that was taught in the previous one. So,
Okay. That makes sense. I guess I kind of got really distracted by, Loki. And that became that became kind of like the villain character, the one that was telling him to do the opposite of what Isho was telling him to do, Loki was. That's what I felt. But maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
See, Samael seemed more like more subtle, but also more like destructive to his motives than Loki did. Whereas Loki's just there. And then so Loki didn't necessarily come across as like necessarily villainous so much as just like self-important, maybe.
I don't know. I just got that feeling whenever Loki was like, you should be doing more for yourself. Like, who cares? If you don't do it, somebody else will do it.
Right.
You know? And so that's what made me think that. But I guess you're right, because, Walker said that Sam is Satan.
Yeah.
But I was confused whenever I read that comment by Walker, because I was like, oh, I thought Loki was like the bad guy here telling the main character to do the opposite of what Isho told him.
I don't know if it's necessarily telling him to do the opposite, but it's to take into consideration all angles of what it means to serve others. And in order to serve others, you must be in a place to be able to serve others. And if you yourself are falling apart and just horribly like tired and miserable, like what kind of service are you giving others?
Yeah, but
like the quality of your service degrades if you yourself are degrading.
That's true. But then the main character's like, what about that whole no greater love has anyone than this to lay down his life for his friends thing? I asked Loki. Wow, who gave you that load of putrid bovine excrement? And then the main character is like, his friends call him Isho, I thought angrily. And then I was like, okay, so Loki is at odds with Isho.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I think the way that I came away from this is that Loki is for one, he's the trickster god. We know that. And so this is kind of a trick. And he is playing a trick. And I think the crux of it comes around this part. It's like, look, Loki said, it's simple. Take a break. The grass will grow and some other insignificant human will tend to it. Probably not Sam, though. He has other obligations, especially on Saturdays. Samael always does. But you're not responsible for everyone. Just take care of you and the rest will work itself out. To wit, we get, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not sick of serving others. And it does make me feel good. I'm just exhausted. I'll admit, I was almost screaming at Loki in my closet, or Tom Hiddleston, or both. But in the intervening silence, I heard the small voice again whispering in triumph, bingo. That, I think, is the crux of the story. And that's basically what I was wrapping around to. It's like, yes, serve others. But that doesn't mean deny yourself in the service of others at all costs. It's like you don't serve others at the expense of yourself because you have to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of others as well. And so it's a balance. And so that's what we're getting. Like, you've got Isho on one side saying like the greatest service is the service unto others, but then you've got Loki on the other side. So it's basically like you're getting both sides of the scale and we've got to walk this line in the middle. That's kind of what I walked away from on this one. And so, yes, Loki is presenting a very self-serving argument, but part of that balancing act in my head is you do have to take care of yourself. Service for self and service for others aren't necessarily mutually exclusive.
Oh, no, not at all.
So I think that's what we're leaning into for this lesson here. And I like the last prayer, God, please let Loki be gone when I wake up.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
And I did look up, I did picture Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
Yeah.
And that was nice. That added a nice touch.
It really did.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the conceit in the story. It's like, who says that Tom Hiddleston plays Loki?
Right.
It's like maybe Loki is playing Tom Hiddleston.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I liked that. To me, that was a mind bender. I was like,
really liked that.
Touche.
Yeah, that was pretty wonderful.
Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, great use of Loki in this, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And a very subtle implementation of Sam in this. I thought that was particularly clever because he did feel especially manipulative. Sam felt very manipulative in this, where Loki just came across as just, brash and self-serving.
Yeah.
Where Sam was more pervasive, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right word, but he just felt more weaselly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like this one, Walker.
It was a good one.
This is a good one.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Walker.
Thanks, Walker.
And our final entry for this week is by Jake.
And it's a song.
This is a sound.
Yes. This was a good song. I really liked the tune of that song.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Folky? Is that what I want to say?
Maybe. I haven't done music analysis in a long time, but I did my best on this one here. There were a few moments that I thought it was an interesting choice for the chord matchup with the lyrics. Like there was one, for one, the feeling pretty good. When you reach that line where you're saying you're feeling pretty good, that's a great use. We're in E minor here, E minor, and we get a major 6 chord there, which is the parallel or relative. I forget. I'm so far out of music theory, but we get a nice major chord there on feeling pretty good, and it really brings it all home. But just some of the lyrics that we get at the crossroads, waiting. How much longer will this take? Feeling pretty good. Thirsty as hell. I drink water. I drink wine. Hell, I drink blood. And then we get this portrait out of reach, like they're chasing. And then what comes across more like chorus is shake and shatter it, watch it explode into bliss, drink it down and get sick. So yes, the lyrics are very, very poetic. But this theme of thirst, I thought was a really good one. And that part, especially with the chords, if we're in E minor, which I believe we are, like we're landing on a dominant major 5 there, which would be G major, I believe. And so we've got that, like that's just a nice use of the dominant 5 there, because you're borrowing from I don't know how much I want to dive off into the music nerd part, but I just thought that was a great use of the dominant chord, was that thirst. Because that's the first time that we get that 5, I believe. Maybe first, but it was just a really good use on the thirsty as hell. Because that matchup of that major chord, that dominant major chord on thirsty as hell, is quite striking. So I'm done nerding out about the music part, I promise.
Okay, no, that's cool. I admittedly just may be a complete perv, but I interpreted this as very sexual.
Oh, it certainly leans that way.
Okay.
Yeah, at least to me,
especially
I did as well.
Especially the last 5 lines.
The
starting with thirsty as hell.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thirsty as hell. I drink water. I drink wine. Hell, I drink blood. Yeah, yeah. Certainly.
Yeah. I just am thinking about. I mean, it just makes me think about sex and orgasms.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is both subtle and not subtle.
Exactly.
Yeah, as soon as you land on the idea, it's like, oh, wow, it's actually quite flagrant.
Right.
But yeah, it's an excellent entry, very non-standard, I believe is how you described it in your video, Jake. But
yes.
Man, I'm down for whatever medium you want to submit a story. Like we will.
Yeah, totally. I
think
it's really interesting, and I like to mix it up. I like to have like the interesting things.
Yeah.
The unique things.
Yeah.
The uniquities.
The uniquities. Well, thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
And that is all of our stories for this week.
Woo!
So thank you, Rachel,
yes.
for your submission. Quite late submission, but your submission nonetheless.
I apologize for that.
As well as Mikey, thank you for your poem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as Nick to you, Curious Writer, Walker, and Jake. Thank you, everybody.
Thank y'all so much.
And that moves us into episode 82. So for episode 82, this is a weird one.
I want to announce it.
This is a weird one.
We are giving you a pastiche prompt.
Pastiche.
And that means that you will choose another writer on this podcast's style to emulate or mimic.
Or imitate.
Or imitate, whichever of those synonyms you want to, that you prefer. But yeah, so you're going to write a story in another writer's style.
I would say, would you say they could even attempt a continuation or like write in a world that they've built or write like characters that they've used? Or do you think that it needs to be like a standalone, just use their style? Or we're talking like using characters? I think it should be a
standalone.
Standalone? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they could use characters, but in a different story.
Okay.
You know? And I got this, honestly, I don't know if I got this from this, but I did this in my classics masters in one of our classes, in one of our Latin classes. The teacher made us compose Latin poetry, Latin verse in the style of different Latin poets.
Did you do Ovid?
I think I did Propertius.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, and that was a mindfuck. So I think it'll be easier to do in English for all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think this is going to be really entertaining. And it could be that it could be that more than one person chooses the same style.
Yeah.
To emulate, and that's fine. And it can be funny. Like it can be like a kind of a satirical emulation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, satire can, in my opinion, often lean into that.
Yeah, totally.
Like you're literally writing in the style of somebody else to draw attention to their style.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually to be funny. And it's the case of satire. Yeah. But I also think that this could just be a good exercise in general.
Right.
To stretch yourself to do something that isn't normally the way that you would write. Yeah. I think it's a cool idea to try and be flexible that way. And this is a great way to limber up.
Yes.
And the words to accompany your pastiche are comfort, chin, infinite, arise, and hypothesis. So our first word is comfort.
Comfort. Oh, this is good.
It's cozy.
It's
nice. It's I just want to say comfortable.
It's comfy. It's a noun. It's also an adjectival noun. So you have like a comfort room.
Ugh, that sounds horrible.
That's what they call bathrooms in some countries.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's the comfort women of Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there's and then there's comfort, Southern comfort.
Yeah. There's comforters. Comforters.
There's
it's like a blanket.
It's like a fancy blanket.
It's like a duvet. It's not a duvet.
Oh no.
But it's like a duvet.
It's like a duvet. It's also like a blanket. It's it's the love child of a duvet and a blanket. The comforter.
The bastard.
Yes, the bastard child. Comfortable. This is weird because of the way we pronounce it compared to the way that it's spelled.
Comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. It's like Wednesday.
We should pronounce it as comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. Wow, it feels comfortable. Believe it or not.
It feels affordable? Is that what you said? No, comfortable.
Comfortable. Comfortable. And then you can't tell if you're saying an N or an M, which
Yeah.
it took me a minute to grasp that in Spanish it's an N. It's confortable.
Confortable?
Yes.
Really?
Confortable. Yes.
Huh.
I said it wrong for the longest time and my boyfriend did not correct me.
Probably because you can't tell.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's also a verb.
Comfort.
Yes.
Give comfort.
Well, that's a noun. To comfort someone is a verb.
Right.
Mhm. Yes.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And our next word is chin.
Chin. To me, this is a very funny word.
Chin.
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 Chin. I like this word in other languages. That's one of the first words that I try to learn in other languages is chin. And I think it's funny.
What's another version of chin?
Chin in Mongolian is iru.
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 Yes.
Okay. Chin.
Yep.
Now we all know.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just like it. Chin. Okay. So chin. Well, chin is that thing on the bottom of your face.
The very bottom of your face. Jay Leno has a very prominent
chin.
Yeah.
Here's a good question for you. Do you think it's worse to have a Jay Leno prominent chin or a vanishing chin?
A no chin.
Yeah, to be chinless.
Just lip in the neck.
Yeah.
Probably the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
a prominent chin can be striking.
Right.
A no chin is just devastating.
It's devastating.
Just, your face just slopes down into your neck.
I don't like judge, not that I judge anybody who gets plastic surgery, but I kind of do. Not everybody, but some people. But I don't judge anybody who gets a chin implant. Yeah, sorry. Who has like a negative chin and they get a chin implant. I'm like, yes, do that.
Good, thank you.
That was...
You served society.
Yes. Well, it's just like, I feel like for guys especially, having a strong chin is like super important. And so I feel like it would be very devastating as a male to have a no chin.
A weak chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A weak chin.
Why do you think I have a beard?
You've got a chin.
I mean, it's there somewhere. I haven't seen it in years, but it's there.
Right, but I remember when I used to see your chin, and it exists.
Yeah, it exists. It's this little doll's chin, but it's there.
It's a dolly chin. The chin of a dolly.
Yeah, and you could do chin ups.
That's right. Chin up, buttercup. Or is it buck up, buttercup? I don't know, but...
Something about buttercup.
Yeah, but I think the British people say like chin up. And I think it means like cheer up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like chin up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And our next word is infinite. Infinite.
Infinite. This is the opposite of finite.
Mm-hmm.
That means it never ends.
Never ending.
Never. Because, in Spanish, end is fin.
Fin.
And this is infin. Not fin.
Not fin. Not end. No end.
No.
That's really it. That's really it. It's just unending.
Yeah. Infinite.
That's it.
That's it.
It has nothing else.
Infinite. And of course, we have the infinite sadness.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was one of my first CDs.
Mm-hmm. The Smashed Pumpkins.
Smashed ones.
And our next word is arise.
Arise, my love. Arise, my love.
Arise.
The grave no longer has a hold on you. Okay. Arise, it's a verb. Arise.
Arise.
That is kind of the voice you imagine it in.
Well, isn't that from Star Wars? Isn't that what the Emperor says? It's like, arise.
Probably.
Good. Release your anger.
Oh, that's creepy. Was it the Emperor or the Chancellor who said that?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a difference.
Okay. Yeah, arise. Just mean get up.
Go and get.
It
Go
just
and get
mean
up.
go and get up. That's pretty much it.
You just arise.
Right. Arise.
Difference between rise and arise?
Hold on. Is it just a difference in usage that arise is a bit more archaic?
Probably.
But
formal?
Yeah. And like I'm thinking about like the bread is rising. The bread is arising. Oh, wait. No.
Does it have to apply to people? Arise? People or like a society can arise?
You could say it to your dog.
Arise. You can say anything to your dog, I guess.
That's true. Okay. The city has arisen from the ashes. I just feel like it's fancier.
It's just more formal version of rise.
Yeah, it's too formal. We're not about to say that.
Unless you have that voice, arise.
Right.
Yep.
In which case, do say that.
That's the only way you can say it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our final word is hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Yeah.
Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Okay, so.
Parentheses.
Yeah. Well, this is a idea.
This is a
theory.
sub-idea.
It's a subset.
It's a low idea.
It's a subset of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothesis is
It's
what
the root idea. That's
it's a root idea. It's a trigger idea.
Mm-hmm.
You get a hypothesis, and then from that emerges a theory.
Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah.
Or from that arises proof that your hypothesis was incorrect. In which case you start over. It's a core piece of the scientific method.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Can you think of a famous hypothesis right now?
Famous hypothesis?
Yes.
There have been many famous hypotheses.
Yeah.
Like gravity was hypothesized by Newton.
Right, but I mean one that's still a hypothesis.
Oh. Hypothesis of is it dark matter in the universe? Like there's certain stuff in the universe that is theorized, and it's hypothesized that dark matter must exist, matter that we cannot see or interact with, that must make up part of the universe to explain certain things that we can't understand.
Mm-hmm. Are there any hypotheses used in math, or are they all theorems?
I think I think there are mathematical hypotheses. I'm not smart enough to know what they are.
Okay.
But yeah, I think to prove anything in math is, and in science in general, is almost impossible, because technically gravity is still a theory.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Relativity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, relativity is still technically a theory.
So we still haven't proven that 1 + 1 is 2?
Man, I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Like you get into that, it's like you're almost talking like dimensional theory at that point. It's like, in a practical use, like this length of 1 inch pipe plus this length of 1 inch pipe combined makes 2 inches. So like that part of it, like I can comprehend, but like when you start getting into like the fundamentals of math and science, it's so easily to just say like, well, it's actually a little more gray than that.
Yeah, the theoretical part.
Yeah. So what is and is not proved in science and math is kind of beyond me.
Right.
Frankly. So, but yeah. Hypotheses.
Okay. Hypotheses is the plural.
Mm-hmm. And so those words again are comfort, chin, infinite, arise, and hypothesis.
If you want to be like these wonderful writers and submit your story to You Write, head on over to our subreddit at reddit.com/r/YouWritePod.
If you're unable to submit a story this week, that's fine. You can help out by reading and commenting on other people's stories.
Each time you post a story or leave a comment on someone else's submission, you increase your chances of having your story read on the podcast.
You can always reach us at yourwritepod@gmail.com. You can DM us on Reddit. You can you can find us on Discord too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you like our show and want to help support us, consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/YouWrite.
If you're unable to donate, I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. You can always help just by sharing the podcast. Just share it.
Share. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you know as soon as new episodes are available.
Also, be sure to leave us some ratings and reviews wherever you're listening. Just go ahead and leave us a comment.
Mm-hmm.
I know Spotify and YouTube, they have comments.
Right.
Yeah.
That can be a thing that you do.
That could.
And remember, join us next week on You Write,
a podcast where you right.
Let's go down in the river to pray, studying about that good old day. And
See y'all
shall
next week.
bear the robe and crown. It's from Oh Brother, How Art Thou.
Oh,
Good Lord, show me the way.
I got nothing down.
Oh, brother, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Come on, brother, let's go down. Down in the river to pray.
Bye.
Bye.